Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. Like with the road trippers we see here in their natural habitat, the breakfast area at a Comfort Inn. Here's a dad teaching his son how to make waffles. Fluffy, golden waffles. There's a mom making sure her daughter eats some fruit to avoid the "I'm hungry" from the back seat. And a sibling standoff over the last muffin. This is the cycle of vacation maximizationing in all its glory. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels and short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning.
Happy
Welcome
Monday.
Back. Great to see you, Jamie Lane. And we got Mr. Golden. Can you hear us? Can you see us? You might be freezing. We might be having a little bit of a lag. Jamie Lane, welcome back to the show. How you been, my friend?
I think my internet just gave out real quick, but I'm back.
There he is. There he is. Coming back in. We got the boys of GMH back on the show. Happy Monday, everybody. We are so excited to be here. Jamie Lane, it feels like the times between you being on the show and the times not are just far in between. So how you been, my friend? How's it going?
It's going well. Had a excellent Father's Day weekend.
Yes, happy Father's Day to both of you guys. Two dads on the show. Two dads and a single dude. Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. So wife and kids made it a fun day. Took my 7-year-old out on a long bike ride. And then, all good.
Did they do anything special? Did you get breakfast in bed? Did you get to have some peace and quiet? Or what was the extra special dad gift?
My 7-year-old made me a card, but it was a unique card in that he made a robot out of a box that he could sit in. And then the box was then decorated as the card. So he was like a card robot thing.
It's like Iron Man, but
like
kids.
Iron Man, but a birthday card. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Or
that.
not a birthday card, Father's Day card. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like Michael said, a walking telegram, literally just walks up to you. I love it. I love it. Michael, you and the boys do anything fun?
We did some work in the yard. Got donuts in bed. Oliver
there we go.
Wanted to watch a fishing show and eat donuts, so that's what we did. Pool, grill out, the typical Father's Day dad experience.
I look forward to the day. Sounds lovely. But glad you guys had a good Father's Day. Well deserved. You guys are fun dads. I like to hear the stories that you guys share in the group chat. So happy Father's Day to you guys.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, good. I spent it up in the weekend, or not on the weekend. Wow. I'm obviously struggling with Monday. I spent it up in the mountains. That's what I meant to say. But yes, it was great. Another weekend up in the mountains, camping, enjoying some good morning coffee along the way. So shout out to Well and Good Morning Coffee for supporting my caffeine while hiking the beautiful mountains. So yeah, shout out to Colorado for always making it fun. But good weekend. Can't wait for this one. All right. Well, we have a lot of topics to get into today. And I think, obviously, for the listeners, live viewers, let us know where you're tuning in from. We do not have Brandy Canali on the show today as she is on the road. Once again, she is constantly moving around and keeping busy. So, yeah, we can't keep up with her. It's really hard. Shout out to Brandy for all that you do, and we miss you. We'll see you next week. All right, Jamie, what's been new with the data? Because it has been about a month since we had you on the show. I did hear from you in our group chat saying that we got last month's data and Q1's data back. So it sounds like we got some new insights to share. I would love for you to jump in.
Yeah. Well, the team was down in Miami a couple weeks ago at the Vermeer Executive Summit, and our CEO Rohit had his first time up on stage presenting the data with Jason from Key Data and Wheelhouse. So that was pretty fun. But it was amazing when you looked across all the data, just like how bad summer was looking in terms of pacing. Like across the board, occupancy's down anywhere from 2 to 4%, and by location type. When we look at bookings, like bookings are down relative to last year, overall nights booked. But then you look at, so like all the sort of indicators on forward data are like, all right, buckle up. We're getting in ready for a tough summer. And then you look at the historical data and things are still like looking okay. Like demand was up 4.5% in May. Overall occupancy was only down 1%. So like there's like a disconnect between the forward data and the historical data, and that's sort of lead times. So people are just booking shorter and shorter. So as we get into the summer, into summer bookings, and things are coming in, people are just not booking as far in advance as they used to. The uncertainty out there is still palpable. We're still seeing stock market up, stock market down. We just had this sort of new war launch in between Iran and Israel, which just further adds to uncertainty out there. Oil prices spiking, and 10% on Friday in this sort of lead up to summer travel season could have an impact. Hopefully they sort of come back down with sort of excess capacity that other countries could sort of make up for if the Iranians go offline in terms of oil production. So overall, like, and we're not out of the woods yet, and by any means, but people are booking. They're just booking last minute. The demand's coming in. People aren't skipping their vacations, but in terms of like certainty going forward for the rest of the summer that things are going to continue to be good, like we just don't have it. And at any given moment, something big could happen that could cause people, you know what, like, and let's not do that trip. There's a reason why we're sort of holding off. Like, let's just cancel it. So I'd say I'm optimistic that things are going to hold as they are now, and we're going to move through the summer and the bookings are going to come in, but there's still a lot of risk out there that things could pull back.
Yeah. And we took over management of a hotel in Virginia in May 1st. And on the 15th, we were sitting at a specific revenue number, and we nearly doubled that by the end of the month. So booking windows are super, super compressed. I mean, I'd say at least 10% of our reservations are for either that night or the next night, which I don't know. Our first month managing it, so I don't know if that's normal, but it seems excessive. So we're sweating it out day by day, looking at the revenue numbers. But in the end, it ended up being the best month that the hotels ever had. So those last minute bookings sure did come through.
So you're saying last minute bookings aren't a bad thing. It just adds to the oh shit factor of like, are we going to make it to the revenue numbers?
I'm interested to see. I mean, this has to be fairly new. Booking windows have compressed. Jamie, you can tell me. I'll speak anecdotally. They've compressed over the past 2 or 3 years. But that said, I don't know. Are the pricing tools adjusting to that appropriately? Like if we're getting 50% of our reservations in a 7-night span, I just don't know how reactive some of those systems are to the current environment, given all that uncertainty that you already mentioned, Jamie.
Yeah, no, it can make it very hard for automated tools to sort of react to the booking windows and know that the demand's going to come in, more than likely suggesting discounting as you're getting closer. And it's sort of up for the revenue manager to sort of look at the data and get comfortable, because this is a big bet, right? If you're going to hold or if you're going to discount, and knowing that the bookings are going to come in, and that any sort of change in the macro environment and could cause it. And then it's also like, and where's your demand coming from? So like we're still looking at the international inbound data. and May was sort of our first month of like non-calendar shift impact, like from Easter. And so stays from Canadians were down 13% in May, sort of inbound demand from Canada to the US. But inbound demand from Europe was only down 2.5%, sort of travelers coming from Europe. So and there was a worry that we were going to see a massive pullback from all international travelers, and sort of any market exposed to international I might be down this summer. And yes, we're seeing it from the Canadians. Maybe rhetoric was a bit stronger towards Canadians at the beginning of the year. We very quickly sort of pulled back on the European tariffs, or at least paused them. So at least for demand so far, or in international travel so far, like, and the vast majority of inbound demand comes from Europe. So we're still seeing that, and it's holding, but again, still a risk. And those international travelers are the ones that book further in advance. And to say, like, Will, you sort of made that comment about like, what do we care as long as they're booking last minute? It's like, we'd much rather them booking 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months in advance, and sort of, I know that demand's there going into the summer than sort of wish, pray, hope. Yeah.
Yes, it's better to have that, obviously, but I'm still saying, like, okay, it's still like the bookings are still happening. It would be worse if we were seeing no bookings at a last minute pace, right? Like, that's where I'm like, at least there's still a little bit of hope. Don't freak out. And I really like Heather's comment here. Panic positioning is real in this industry. Patience positioning is a better strategy. So couldn't agree more, Heather. Sometimes I remember, like, my hotel manager days, we would, see occupancy was low. We would start to look at rates and inventory and shuffling the deck and doing all that stuff. And then you see your competitors down the road start dropping price. And then it was just a race to the bottom, because everyone then started dropping price, and then all the rooms started filling up, and we filled it for half the amount of money that we technically could have made. So don't be a race to the bottom. Be a patience positioner, like Heather says. Don't race to the bottom. There we go. That's my slick talk for the week. All right, there we go. No, that's really interesting. But I want to actually transition to our first story, which we talked a little bit about last week with Brandy. But Jamie, it made a lot of sense to also get your input too, as we saw Airbnb get a little bit of flack for stealing or poaching,
violating terms of service for websites, and directly using a platform to try and grab those experience offerers.
Michael,
pull them on to their platform. It's like,
hey, Michael, how about you just share the whole story?
I can't help myself. It's kind of like a host just asking on Airbnb to book direct. Just circumnavigate the whole platform that's already in place, and then go take it off platform. It's wild to me that Airbnb thinks that this is okay.
All right, let's set the stage. You got your Brandy rant. So for the listeners, for the live viewers as well, Airbnb got some flack for trying to get tour operators and experience operators onto their platform by messaging them using the Airbnb.com email through Facebook Messenger, or through Facebook groups and through other platforms. Basically, I'm not going to go into all the details. There's an article on Skift. Go read it. And obviously, so I want to say is this is not the first time Airbnb has ever done this. If we look back at the early days, the growth years, when they got some funding, they're getting a little bit of traction. They're the new cool hot startup in Silicon Valley, and they started stealing listings and copying listings from Vrbo, right? So we know this. This is public, and if not,
originally started on Craigslist, right?
Craigslist, but we'll make it a little bit more impactful, because Vrbo is a real platform, unlike Craigslist, in my opinion. But so okay, like, obviously some morally and ethically wrong, maybe, I don't know. They're not unknown for doing this, right? Like, they've done this in the past. This is something that they have done as a startup, but as a publicly traded company, I think it would be pretty shocking. Michael's pretty passionate about it. Jamie has a different perspective. Jamie, before I ramble on and probably butcher the story. Michael wants to jump in.
One more word in.
Let's go.
There's a difference, in my opinion, between scrappy startup mode and $90 billion publicly traded company. Like, you have the resources and the capital to do it the right way and not go poach other platforms' users. Now, scrappy startup mode, 0 to 1, Airbnb early days, I love it. Like, figuring out Craigslist, messaging the hosts on Craigslist, asking them to list, cool. But you're a publicly traded company. You can't do this anymore. And it's just, especially when you're going after your hosts on doing things that are against the terms of listing and terms of service, and then you go do it on someone else's platform, not a fan.
Yeah. So, and clearly they shouldn't have been using the competitors' platforms to be messaging and operators. Like, that's that and against terms of service, yada yada yada. Like, they shouldn't have been doing that. But on the other side, like, and so we're talking about supply of experienced operators. So tour guides, we're talking about and people offering sort of services, experiences in each of these cities. Like, all this supply is public, right? Of who's offering these tours. And the fact that, and as Airbnb sort of launches into these new business lines, that they're not going to be trying to find who's offering these services and getting in contact with them and offering it on their own platform. Like, and absolutely going to happen. Absolutely happens now. And for Airbnb finding hosts and property managers that are on Booking and Vrbo, and Booking and Vrbo finding property managers that are on Airbnb. Like, this is what, and they've got entire supply teams sort of focused on finding who are the property managers out there and what platforms they're on, and how can I convince them to come onto my platform. And as I said, yes, they shouldn't have been doing it through the platform, but I don't think we can fault them for trying to go after these existing operators. It's going to be up to them to figure out what platforms they want to list on. Like, if you're an experienced operator and you want to list ideally on multiple platforms, like we talk about and all the time, how no business should only have one way of distribution, and that these operators should be finding other ways to distribute their product. So, and how they went about it, not probably the best way, but I do think that, there's going to be competition in this space.
Yeah. I'll say to add, just, I agree. I think it was a bad approach, but I wanted to ask you on the question. You kind of made the statement, Jamie, but I'll leave this open to both of you. Do you ever think there will be a point where exclusivity is going, like, distribution, every business, whether you're a tour operator or an STR host, property manager, etc., should always have many ranges of distribution. But do you ever think we're ever going to shift to a point of exclusivity where the platform is really going to try to own that? I'm more assuming in the term of, in my head, I can see Airbnb seeing an experience or a tour being really good, really profitable, really highly sought out, searched, etc., booked, and probably wanting to own it in some shape or form. I don't know. I could see them getting to a point.
They could call it like Airbnb Originals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think if they're sourcing the supply and negotiating with them, that they're going to give them top placement, and they're essentially creating that inventory and then saying that has to be sort of exclusive, like, fine, but they're probably going in with that this isn't a business. Like, Megan Thee Stallion probably isn't, it's not her business that she's doing this experience with them. It's more of a marketing play, and she's getting paid for that. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think most businesses, unless you're really getting compensated for it to make it exclusive, are going to be comfortable with any sort of OTA sort of and forcing exclusive distribution. And I think we've all criticized and seen companies that have tried to come into the short-term rental space with exclusive arrangements. And once you dig into the details, oh no, I'm not gonna give you an exclusive distribution of my properties.
Yeah. Yeah, it changed with Marriott Homes and Villas a long time ago. When they first entered the space, that was a big issue. So yeah, and we talked about it on the show, I believe. Golden, any other brandy rant thoughts around this?
I think I made myself clear on the experiences piece. It's one thing to go after the same supply. There are only so many tour operators. You just, as a publicly traded company, you can't use your @airbnb.com email and message people through the platform.
Totally agreed.
Yeah.
So, and Will, on your question on exclusivity, I think anybody moving towards an exclusive route is going the wrong direction, as evidenced by our next article. PayPal.
I was gonna say maybe not exclusivity now, but do you think in the future, like 3 years, 4 years, AI develops, social media and booking changes with the way inventory is now displayed for the inspirational moments, etc.? Nothing. You don't think anything will change it?
No, I think supply in the hotel side has been largely commoditized for a long time, and I think we're heading that direction in short-term rentals. When you can book a stay on Amex, on Capital One, on Marriott Homes and Villas, on and now on our latest article on PayPal, then supply is commoditized if it's on PayPal and bookable. And that's not a bad thing. The more places your supply is getting viewed and thought of, that's good. But anyone offering or requiring exclusivity in a world of commoditization, that just seems like the wrong call to me.
Sure. Well, speaking of our next article, let's jump in. We see that PayPal enters the hotel booking industry, the sector of hotel booking with self-book integrations. So basically, you will now be able to book a hotel room using PayPal. And as we discussed pre-recording, pre-live, and Venmo, because PayPal PayPal owns Venmo. So I'm surprised that PayPal's still alive. Let's be honest. I was like, whenever someone asks me to like pay them via PayPal, I'm always like, what? What's my login? How do I get in? Is it safe? Do I trust this platform anymore? I usually don't do it. I ask for Venmo or ACH Direct. But yeah, shocker that PayPal is actually the owning company of Venmo, which I thought Venmo probably would have owned them, but I guess they got to the Venmo company early. So anyways, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Because I think I know over the years we've seen a lot of, obviously, like mobile booking is really popular for hotels, whether it's through an app or just through mobile search, whether it's Google, Safari, etc. But now to just be able to pay and make it easier, it's kind of like adding the Apple Pay button to your checkout or something like that. Like, right? Like, I think just making the payment process for any of our guests is the way to go. We should stop having them fill out form after form after form, online and in person, to just have them give us the same credit card info they would have done if they just paid online. So any thoughts around this? I'm curious.
Unless you have a gift card.
Yeah.
That's another rant. Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think you're starting to get to what causes friction and how can you make sort of the booking of travel easy. And in this sort of world that we're in now of like frictionless payment, where like you're saying with Apple Pay or Google Pay or people that use PayPal or Venmo, like when you have your sort of payment system ready and like you're ready, one-click bookings, like now bring me the things that I'm regularly buying or maybe aspirationally buying into that experience and make it easy for me to pay. As if let's say I want to, and what I think is interesting too is there's sort of partnerships with Perplexity and sort of doing AI booking agents. Like what's going to get hard with all these things is like, all right, it's great to use AI to sort of find and discover travel, but then what is the experience to easily pay and book it? As if sort of all the booking engines are using and making their inventory discoverable, then it's going to be who can sort of make it seamless for me to pay, not have to create an account, all those other things. So if you can start using the sort of external payment platforms that exist, and sort of which payment platforms out there sort of have mass sort of distribution. And we've talked about PayPal, Venmo, like how many other are there out there? Like, yes, there's Google and Apple Pay, which are going to have their own already have their own travel distribution. So it does seem like, and PayPal's trying to get in and make it easy. They're going to try some of the distribution directly through their own app. And if anything, it's just making and bringing travel more to the forefront for more consumers, and more entry points, the better, in my opinion.
A little too easy. I'll say I'm one of those guys where if I see an Apple Pay button at the end of my cart or checkout, guarantee there's a 95% chance I'm probably buying it because it's too damn easy. It's like a click, face scan, boom, it's done. It's at my door the next day. So it's a little too easy in my opinion, but yeah, I agree. The friction points for the booking process have been for a long time way outdated, and I think it's finally cool to see updates like this, little things like this that continue to push that ball forward of more convenient and ease. So, Golden, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think any of these payment processors, credit card companies, I think it all comes down to loyalty and rewards. And similar to you guys, I personally haven't used PayPal forever, but I looked it up beforehand. They have their own rewards program, turns out. So my guess is this is a way that they can try and start building loyalty. People love using their credit card points to book travel. And that's my guess of this. Otherwise, it does seem like an odd partnership, but when you layer in loyalty and rewards, anywhere that you can gain loyalty, people typically want to burn it on travel and experiences. So makes a lot of sense. I do think PayPal, globally is probably a lot more adopted than it is, US to US transactions. But if there's one more way to earn and burn points, then why not?
We're a big fan of loyalty and points on the show, as our listeners can tell. We almost talk about it every week. But no, I love it. It's good stuff. Jamie, I'm tired of hearing Michael telling me same old. So what do you got going on this week? Anything you're looking forward to? What's in the pipeline for AirDNA? Give us some forward thinking into the future of what that crystal ball of yours shows.
Yeah. So on the travel front, we're doing a fun sort of thing with our short-term rental up in North Georgia. Sort of blocked it for a week, taking my son up. We're doing an outdoor camp up in North Georgia. So he's going to go up there for a week. I'm going to work from the house for a week, get some projects done, and then we'll have some family up for the weekend. So looking forward to spending a week up there. And then on the conference side, I think my next one is in early July, Destinations International, first DMO conference I've been to in quite a bit. So looking forward to getting up to Chicago.
Good old Chicago.
Yeah.
You going to go to a game? You do anything fun while you're there, or just work?
Probably just work.
Yeah.
And the conference scene, like, get out and do anything else besides go to a conference? Absolutely not.
Never. We would never
give a banger speech and fly home, huh?
Yeah.
Blow their minds with all the data and then just go home to your life. I love it.
Are you scheduled at 8 a.m. on the second day?
I hope not.
Oh,
mostly because the conference ends on Friday, and Saturday morning, me and the whole family are flying up to Maine for 2 weeks. So I still haven't booked my flight home, but because I don't know what I'm speaking at. But man, I hope I'm not getting home late Friday night and then flying out first thing Saturday in the morning, because my wife is going to kill me.
And for all the live viewers / listeners, Jamie always gets the worst speaking spots at conferences, where it's like the last day, first thing in the morning, everyone's hungover, like all the bad scenarios you can get as a speaker, and he still crushes it. So hopefully you don't get it bad.
Yeah, I always try to spin it of like, all right, like who are they going to wake up for? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Somebody give him a headliner, Somebody give him prime real estate.
It's that early morning energy that Jamie brings. There's like, we got to close it out with a bang. We just gotta. I love it. Well, Michael, how about you? Anything new, exciting that you're looking forward to?
Not so much this week, same old, same old.
Lovely. Well, I'll share something since I'm excited because I'm a big racing fan. So I'm going to Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, which is a all-day race series where basically a bunch of different types of cars race up the mountain, 12 miles, 156 turns. It's sick. I can't wait. So I'm excited for that. I'm trying to work this week. I'm trying to get as much done as possible, but a little distracted. Get
it done, Will.
I know. I got some Instagram reels I'm just like constantly watching because it's so fun. But anyways, for all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in. And just an FYI, if you missed last week's episode, there was an Easter egg dropped for all of you saying that if you use the code GoodMorning25, you would have gotten a sample of our coffee sent to your door. So use the code GoodMorning25 to get Well and Good Morning coffee directly to your door. And of course, like always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. And if you're in Barcelona, I believe it's this week. Yes, it's this week. If you're in Barcelona, join our happy hour put on by our friends at Scale Rentals, Truvi, and Good Morning Hospitality, where we're going to have Leo and Sarah and everybody bringing on a good happy hour time. We're networking in Barcelona the 20th, I believe. Let me pull it up. Yes, the 20th. So grab the link there in our LinkedIn page. But thank you so much again for tuning in. Thank you for Paul. Thank you for Terry White. Thank you for Heather. Always making it a great live show. See you guys on the next one.